Right, ladies and gentlemen, fellow engineers, you are welcome to another series of webinar by the Nigeria Society of Engineers, London branch. And today is going to be another beautiful day as usual. And we thank God that we're all here. And we pray that Corona will never be our portion. So you're all welcome.
Amen.
You're all welcome. Thank you very much. We've got about 34 people online. We're recording, unfortunately, because some people that can't make it, they would like to see the copy of this recording. So I welcome all of you to this webinar, where Engineer Funmilola Ojelade is going to be sharing some very interesting and very important ideas of trying to inspire young female engineers. We need them. Engineering is not all for male only, it's gender neutral. So what we can do to encourage young male or female to stay in the profession is what we're talking about today. So I'm going to be just to start going to acknowledge some of our people who are present today, starting with the president of NSE, Engineer Mohammed Babagana, FNSE. You're welcome if you're on board. I appreciate all the executive committee of NSE and the council member of NSE hereby present. I also appreciate all the chairmen of different branches that have participated in this event today, fellow engineer associates, and we have other people who are not engineers. We have architects, we have accountants, the people with the money, we have bankers on board today that want to sponsor young professional engineers or female engineers to stay in the profession. So you're all very, very welcome. As far as London branch is concerned, we're inaugurated about 2 years ago. So we're still a baby. But as you know, the whole of the NSE was set up right here in London 62 years ago. Somebody just pointed out to me because there's a logo that says 60 years there, but yes, we know it's 62. So basically, NSE is coming back home to London, and that's where the establishment of this branch. But since then, many other branches have been established. We have the Houston branch, we have the Glasgow branch, and we have also Manchester branch. So we're already growing in diaspora. A lot of branches being opened. And just to give you more about what we do, Engineer Tio.
Thank you very much, Dr. Popola. Good afternoon once again. My name is Theo Olatuboson Dulami, and I'm one of the members of the executive of NSC London branch, and you're welcome to this apt webinar. As Dr. Popola has mentioned, what we have tried to do, and we are succeeding by the power that God has given us, is that we have been able to contribute to the development of a supportive and a vibrant engineering community, both within Nigeria and in the diaspora. Not only are we working with the engineering sector, we have expanded our influence into the academia. We have been able to kind of impact the private sector as well. What we try to achieve by doing this is to enhance a connectivity between the Nigerian engineers and other key professional groups. We want to create an environment of synergy whereby we Nigerians in diaspora and abroad can collaborate and promote investment in infrastructure that is fit for purpose and improve the sustainability of Nigerian engineering projects. We've been able to build closer and mutually beneficial links with all the Nigerian communities, both here in the UK, abroad, even in the United States, and even in other parts of the world, and connecting them to bring it back into Nigeria for the sake of the development of the motherland. Over to you, Doctor.
And in line with what the topic of today, we've obviously been owning a lot of seminars. Normally we have this seminar in physically in anywhere in the UK, but now that we're London branch, we try to have it in London branch. So we've had a lot of this. This is a summit seminar that we've done online this year. And in line with what Engineer Funmilola is going to be talking about today, we're very, very much involved in motivation of school children. So we have events, not just in London or the UK, We have events we call creative features that we run in Nigeria, we run in Jamaica, we also run in Trinidad and Tobago. Beautiful place for holidays, but at the same time, impacting the life of young people. And we have generally, again, if not for COVID, we arrange seminars, we arrange visits to infrastructures in the UK. And we've been to quite a few infrastructure, London Olympic ground, we've been there, and also some of the Crossrail, the new tunnel going across London. Our engineers have been there to visit. So these are some of the achievements that we've done, and we continue to build on these achievements. Engineer.
Well, taking off from the fact that we are impacting the younger generation, we've been able to build capacity in the engineering sector in Nigeria, and we've been able to encourage local content involvement in all our projects. We know definitely these are the achievements that definitely we are looking forward to and want to do more, as we really kind of rest on your support by coming to webinars and programs like this. And by so doing, the ultimate aim of us coming together, rubbing minds together, and then more or less kind of maybe sharing ideas and experience is to transfer this research, innovation, and technological skills that we've got into development, that we can transfer these achievements into Nigerian community. And what do we want to do? We want to make sure that we come together as a body of engineers. We want to begin to put things together under the umbrella of the institution, that is the NSE, and look at how we can expand into the industry, into the academia. Even if by the power that we have as a unity, we can extend into the governance era to make things better for our country, Nigeria. Over to you.
Right, thank you very much for that. Just to just share with you our executive in London. I'm the chairperson, the Sandy Popola. I also work as an associate professor at Imperial College London, the best university if you want to do engineering, medicine, and science. And we have Dr. Nike Folayon, who is the vice deputy chairman. We have Chek Pilikoy, who is the secretary. Emmanuel Jais is our treasurer. He deals with all our money, billions of it. Engineer Tio, which he just spoke, is our director of publicity. And we have Taiwo Oyewole as the assistant secretary. Yes, our time is coming to an end, and we're looking for a new executive member to take on the mantle of NSE London branch. So if you're interested, let us know. We put your name down, and we have the election. But there's quite a lot of celebration to do. Actually, 2 celebrations we're going to do today. Apart from listening to Engineer Funmilola, we need to aspire to celebrate the Black History Month and Black Lives Matters. And as you know, that we have a lot of our brothers and sisters who are doing some fantastic work in the UK in diaspora. So as a result, we've got a video of about 2 minutes that I'm gonna share with you to celebrate the amazing work that this group of people have done in the years that they've been working in the UK. I hope if you can't hear the volume, Tio, please tell me you can't hear the volume, then I will try and. Can you hear the volume?
Not yet.
Okay, that should do it. Let me start here again. Okay.
Yeah, it's coming up now, but we can do better than that, can we? I think. We can hear it.
I think it's the picture that matters. Don't worry about the sound.
Okay then.
Right, thank you very much for that. That's just a taste of some of the amazing engineers that we have in the UK and across the world. And every week we're going to be celebrating 10. So that's the first 10 there. It's not in any particular order, but we have a whole list and we've described what they can do, what they have done, and their capability. So next week we'll do exactly the same thing. Right, let's get down to business now. While we're here today, we're to listen to our fellow engineers, Engineer Funmilola Ojelade, FNSE. A little bit of her. I mean, I've got about 5 pages of her bio, but unfortunately, I'm not going to read all the 5 pages, and she won't mind me not reading all the 5 pages. So let me just give you a summary of what Engineer Funmilola Ojelade, FNSE. She's currently the president of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, called them APWEN. She joined APWEN in 2003, and it has since been a visible and effective leader in the association at both executive and non-executive capacity. She was the chairman of the Abuja Chapter of APWEN 2011 to 13. The chapter is principally rebranding during her tenure. Yeah, this is something that we in Nigeria don't like doing. We like to keep the same thing for so many years. But she rebranded very well. Right. And invaluable work and impressive projections of the association during that period and the position of the first ever APWEN Brand Ambassador in October 2014. Put APWEN to one side. Funmilola is manager, prepress currency manufacturing at the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting PLC. In other words, all those money that we guys use every day in Nigerian naira, she's in charge of printing them. Yeah, the sole manufacturer of banknotes in West Africa. So it's not just Nigeria, the manufacturer notes for West Africa as well. In 19 years of working at the Mint, she progressed to the company's supply chain, handling various responsibilities in research and development, quality control, production, planning, and procurement. So she's a very, very formidable person in this organization. She holds a master's degree in business and management, finance track from the prestigious Harvard University. Yeah, they're good, but not as good at Imperial College. She had a bachelor degree in chemical engineering from the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Wow, I'll take my hat off for you. And a master's degree in the same field from the University of Lagos, both in Nigeria. These are the top 2 universities in Nigeria, and you've been through them, so that's wonderful. Funmilola has taken several career enhancement courses during supply chain, including supply chain management program at the Cranfield University in the United Kingdom. That's one of the top 1. She's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, FNSE, a chartered engineer registered with the Council of the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN. And with nothing else for me to say, otherwise I'm going to have to read about 5 pages to you. Engineer Funmilola Ojelade, you're welcome. Please, let's hear you. If you don't mind, I will stop sharing my slides and you can now share your slides. So thank you very much. We look forward to this presentation from you.
Thank you very much, sir. And number 1, my name is Ojelade, not Ojelade. You pronounced that twice. And I thought I thought the first one was a mistake.
Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. You're very right. Ojelade, thank you.
Yeah. The chairman of NSE London branch, Engineer Sunday Popola, his executive committee members, Engineer Ismail Balogun, the founder of Barbos UK, and all other members of NSE London branch. Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me to this webinar today. Congratulations on the celebration of the Black History Month. And I'm pleased to see that you are bringing out those who have excelled, the Blacks who have excelled in the United Kingdom. We've seen your history a bit, and all about the London and a lot about London, UK. I would like to recognize some of our APWEN members that are here. As I saw them coming in, let me just mention a few, not so few anyway. I would like to recognize the presence of Engineer Hawa Sadiq, the 14th president of APWEN, Engineer Elizabeth Eterigo, the vice president of APWEN, Engineer Debisi Osim, the zonal administrator for South-South APWEN. That's about 6 chapters of APWEN in the South-South Nigeria. Engineer Patricia Openel-Dili, the 8th APWEN president, she's online. Professor and Mrs. Bamidele Adebisi, they are not APWEN members, but they are friends of APWEN. I saw them earlier. Engineer Dr. Martha Ikalo, the chairman of APWEN Port Harcourt. Engineer Dr. Chineye Ayadike, the chairman of APWEN Nsukka chapter. Engineer Dr. Binta Usman, the APWEN Northwest Zonal Administrator, the Northwest of Nigeria, that consists of about 6 chapters as well. Engineer Obianju Okusogu, an APWEN advisor. Engineer Magdalena Kombi, APWEN Owerri chapter chair. Engineer Bose Doyekunle, our National Publicity Secretary. Engineer Mojirade Olorun Toba, the APWEN Southwest Zonal Administrator. Engineer Umuka Itajo, the Young Engineers Coordinator. Engineer Nkechi Sigwe, a founding member of APWEN and the 2nd president of APWEN. Engineer Arifa Haq, the chairman of APWEN Mina chapter. I also noticed Engineer Uduak Essien, the chairman of NSE, who is also a very good friend of APWEN. So today, I will be speaking about inspiring a new generation of innovative women engineers. And basically, I'll be speaking about about APWEN, because that is what we are doing. This is our APWEN. It was founded in 1983, founded in 82 actually, but formally inaugurated in 1983, and is the umbrella body of 4 female engineers in Nigeria. It's non-governmental, non-profit. These women you see here are those that founded APWEN in 1982. One of them is online now. That is Engineer Nkechi Yeresigwe. Now we have a membership of over 3,000, and we are in all 6 geopolitical zones, in 36 cities in Nigeria, and in 16 campuses. Originally, APWEN was to be a pressure group and a voice for the grossly underrepresented female gender. But now it's grown into has evolved into an educational and service organization, a catalyst for advancing the professional development of female engineers, technologists, and scientists. We inspire young girls in STEM education with emphasis on the E, that is engineering. We mentor engineering students through seminars and conferences. And of course, we're a division of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. This is our vision. We want to be a catalyst for the advancement of women in the engineering profession towards national and technological development. And our mission, there are 3 of them basically. The first one is to continually increase awareness that engineering is a career for girls also, thereby improving the numerical strength of female engineers in Nigeria. We want to encourage women to achieve professional excellence as engineers and leaders, and also to promote the engineering profession as a positive force in enhancing the quality of life. Now, this is our number 1 mission, and this is where I will dwell on mostly today. To continually increase awareness that engineering is a career for girls also. And what we hope to achieve by this, we want to increase the numerical strength of female engineers. We know that engineering is male-dominated profession. So what we do is to encourage engineering studies and practice among female Nigerians, and to create a platform by which women engineers can collaborate with other women in other professions in Nigeria and elsewhere. And we do this through a number of programs. These programs have evolved over the years. And now it's more structured, because we now have programs that take care of girls from primary school, in secondary school.
As well, come as engineer, and this engineering registration in us.
In the university, and young engineers, and even the practicing ones. So in primary school, we have what we call the Invent It, Build It competition for primary school girls. And this program is creating a revolution of girls that will take up engineering as a career. It's something we started 2 years ago in partnership with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. And the way we do it through what we call role modeling. We have someone in a community who has attained a height, especially in engineering, and we use that person as a role model for the girls. And what do they have to gain? What do we use to incentivize them? We award scholarships from primary to university level to any of those girls that will study engineering. And we choose them through a competition. The competition, we try to select the girls that have engineering aptitude. And how do we do that? We make them to do some experiments that we teach them basic engineering principles, like sound, like electricity, like absorbency, things that we use in everyday life of engineering organizations, engineering institutions. So through this, we're able to select the girls that are able to catch that. We know that they have an engineering aptitude, and we select those ones and award them scholarships. The scholarship is sponsored by the NNPC. For the ones we have done, for some of the, not everything, we've secured the scholarship money from primary to university for these girls. And so that means if they don't study engineering, they cannot continue with the scholarship. But from primary to when they finish JS3, they will enjoy the scholarship. By SS3, by SS1, if they do not enter STEM subjects, they will not study engineering. So they drop from the scholarship. And part of that program includes the building of an ultra-modern science and technology laboratory with a motorized borehole. Because we want to, in the school, in the school that hosts that program, because we want to ensure that they have the facilities that they need to continue in STEM. For secondary school girls, we have what we call the Technical Bootcamp for Girls for junior secondary. It's a 3-day holiday event. We use role modeling for that also. And we have the STEM Train the Trainers program during that program. Because we realize that part of the problem that discourages girls, even boys, from taking STEM is the teaching. I wouldn't have been an engineer. My mathematics was very poor until Form 3. Form 1 and 2, I just didn't understand what they were saying. But when I had a good teacher in Form 3, I picked up very fast. And that's why I can become an engineer today. So when we're talking about STEM trainers, we know what it's, I have a personal experience of what that is. Hands-on engineering related activities are part of the things that we do in this technical boot camp. We also make them to visit engineering facilities. Another one we do for secondary schools is the career talk for secondary schools. This is as old as APWEN. Our founding mothers did this when they started APWEN. We just go to a school, we show them, we show ourselves to them, we tell them we're engineers, we tell them what they need to become engineers, and career talk, how to build a career in engineering. Another program we do to increase female participation in engineering career is the She Engineer program. It's also for junior secondary school girls. And we inspire them through hands-on engineering related activities. We have a STEM teachers training nationwide. Recently, we had a STEM teachers, the trainers training for this program, where we selected about 60 people from all APWEN chapters. That is from like 36 chapters scattered all over the Federation. And they were trained by the University of West of Scotland. And the purpose is for them to go to their various localities and teach and train STEM teachers. Essentially, we are trying to build the capacity of our STEM teachers so that they can teach our girls the STEM. And if our girls are able to catch this STEM subjects, we know that they have a potential to study engineering. This program is funded by the Royal Academy in the United Kingdom. We also have the Invent It, Innovate Challenge for undergraduates. This one is not for girls alone. All the other ones I've spoken about are for girls alone. This one is for both male and female, but we have the requirement that since APWEN is the one sponsoring, we must have at least 50% girls, 50% women in the team, because they need to work in teams. Last year, the program, the theme that they worked on is solid waste for social good. And essentially, they're supposed to look in their environment, look for something that is waste, and then try to build something out of it. It's a competition, and there's prize money attached to it. This year, what they are doing is the energy and power project. We know that energy and power is an issue in Nigeria. Even when it is generated, it is not well distributed. And then we also have the other sources of energy that is green. So these are things that we want them to focus on this year and develop projects around this, which we are going to grade, and there is prize money attached to it. This is funded through charity here and there, so the prize money is not so big. I think this year it's increased a little bit to ₦500,000 naira. Last year it was half of that. This is the invented build it I was talking about for primary school girls. We make them to do experiments. On the left here, you see separation by absorption. So here they look at the concept, how does the oil industry, for example, how can you absorb oil from water, separate oil from water? That is an experiment that they look at. We expect that when they see stuff like this, they are inspired to study engineering. On the right is the sound experiment. It's a very simple one. You have two cups and they tie a string in between and put and two girls hold it at different ends, and one speaks into it, just to see how the telephone works, how sound is transmitted from one place to the other. And like I said, we use role modeling. In that Abeokuta one, we used two people as role models because they are from Abeokuta. We wanted them to see their people, how they have become engineers. The first one on the left is Engineer Idi Atamusu, who is the 4th president of APWEN, and she's the first female agricultural engineer in Nigeria. She's from Abeokuta. So when we went to Abeokuta, we presented her as a role model for the girls to see that this is what you can become. And the other one is Engineer Adekunle Mokolu. He was the president of NSE at that time when we had the event. This is the invented building that we had in Kano. This is the sound experiment again on the right. That's absorbency on the left. We do electricity and all manners of just basic engineering concepts, and tell them this the places where such are applied, so that they can, be incentivized to study engineering, inspired rather. I said the invented build it includes the building of a science and technology laboratory. This is the science and tech laboratory that is built in Misau, Bauchi State. This one has been completed. Then I spoke about the technical bootcamp for girls, that we also use role modeling for that. The role model we use for this one is Engineer Maya Modupeola Ojelade. She's a successful entrepreneur and she's in building construction. She's the first female graduate engineer from South Nigeria and the first female president of the Association of Consulting Engineers of Nigeria. So when we have this program, she will normally come around to the opening ceremony and we introduce her to the girls. That is someone that you can look up to and become. These are the events that we had at the technical boot camp for girls. We had, here we were showing them 3D printing. This is one in which they were building a hydraulic lift, and that was more like a competition. We taught them what to do with cardboard, syringe, and I think water was the hydraulic that we used there. And once they finish building, they will have to push the water through the syringe, and that lift has to work. And they were graded based on that and based on the time. And this is another one, Waste to Wealth. This is still the technical bootcamp for girls. I think on the second day, they will visit, and the things that we teach them yesterday, we take them to an engineering facility for them to look at. Here they came to a modern auto garage, which is actually run by a woman, one of our APWEN members, a mechanical engineer, Engineer Udua Agboneni. And they were asked to change the tire. She told them to change the tire for her there. That's what they were doing. This is another one, another visit. We went to a motorcycle assembly plant here, for the children to go and see motorcycle assembly. I think that year we were teaching them things about structures, how structures was a bridge that they built that year. Even though it's an all-girls event, but you see a lot of boys coming there. Because it's an holiday event, their mother takes them out too. This is another one. We have the STEM Train the Trainers program during the technical bootcamp for girls. So because these are secondary school girls, and we take them from the school, even though it's during the holiday, we ask that their teachers will accompany them, their science teachers, so that they can be more comfortable. So, and since the teachers will not be taking part in children's activity, we put them together so that and train them for those 3 days as well. Retaining women in engineering careers. What I've been talking about is inspiring them to study engineering. Now, one of the issues we find why there are not so many women in engineering is that even when we study engineering, we eventually filter out through so many pipes. We go into other different professions. I almost went into accounting. I was going to do ICANN about 2 years after I graduated, because ICANN was very easy for the engineers to do. The mathematics they did was much more simpler than what we did. And accountants were making a lot of money in those days. So I wanted to do ICANN. It actually was an accountant whom I spoke with, a much elderly man, who said, why do you want to change career? Engineering is a career. Why are you have not even practiced it? You want to just go into accounting. That's how I didn't go into accounting. So we actually see a lot of female engineers who filter out and go and do other profession, and because they do not have someone to guide them, like someone who was able to advise me, no proper mentoring, no counseling. And sometimes because they are not able to find a job, an engineering job, then they just go and go into banking, go into any other thing outside this. So we have this program now called the Town and Gown Mentoring Career Fair for Young Engineers. It's for young engineers, in this case, in penultimate university year, up to 3 years post-graduation. So from year 4 in the university, year 5, then 4th, 2nd, and 3rd year after graduation are those that we consider as young engineers. And the aim is to develop their employability skills leading to engineering jobs. And what we do in this case is that we invite companies, multinationals, most of them, to as mentor partners in this event to come and speak with these engineers. Because I've had people who said, oh, when they were in school, they did not know that some of these companies even exist. When you are in school, you are just focused on passing. You are not aware of many of these multinationals that it's until you graduate, that you now begin to look in the newspaper or begin to look for a job and begin to make your applications. But right now, we bring them into networking with these companies so that they know that these companies exist. And then what do these companies require to get to get employment in those places? And how do you develop a career there? Do you employ female engineers? What is the diversity level in that organization? So we want these women, by the way, this one is for both men and women, but our focus is on the girls. So we want these people to begin to have that focus, have that in their mind while they are still in school or maybe shortly after they graduate, develop these skills so that they do not have to go around wasting time looking for jobs that are non-engineering, and then we lose them again through that pipeline. To incentivize the companies, we have what we call the Diversity Champion Awards for the companies that agree to come and help us with this mentoring of our young engineers, and we give them these awards. I think this last one, we gave them the APWEN Mentor Partner Award for those that were there. Another one we're using to retain women in engineering career is our APWEN e-learning platform. This one came recently because of the coronavirus, but it's been very, very useful for us. And it is for the capacity building of our members. Our number 2 mission is to encourage women to achieve professional excellence as engineers and leaders. Through this APWEN e-learning platform, we intend to fulfill that mission to the best of our ability. And we also want to develop this into a MOOC, a massive online open courses, where it's not just APWEN members, but the entire world can actually hook on and learn something like we have with Coursera and edX and many others. Lobbying. I'm talking about retaining women in engineering careers. We also see that a lot of women don't make it to the very top in organizations only because they are women. I've had many people, many times when a woman needs to be chosen as leader, and you are like, this woman actually does better. You hear someone say, a man say, but she's a woman. That's why they just don't want her to get there. So through this particular one, we are making the effort to see that our women get into positions of power. The other time we went to see someone actually the deputy chief whip in the House of Assembly. And one of our presentations was that we want, it's not just the affirmative action that we want, but that for ministry departments and agencies, we want there to be at least a 40% representation of women in their board. And if it's an engineering organization, let there be at least a woman among those that will be chosen. A female engineer, I mean, among those that will be chosen. So those are things that we are doing so that we do not get tired, because when you keep working hard and you don't get the promotion that you require, or you get promoted to a level and you're not allowed to get to the utmost where you should get to, you actually get tired, you get weary, you get weak. So that is why we have introduced this, so that we can not just continue to be all book, but we need to play some of the politics that is required. This is the turn and gown that we had recently. The turn and gown, by the way, is funded by Wally Foundation, an Australian organization. That's the last one we did. It's been on Zoom because we started it June this year. That was supposed to start around March. We were waiting for the corona. Corona started in March. The lockdown started in March. We were waiting for it to go. It would not go. So eventually in June, we started it online, and we had another one in September. He gave the keynote address at the last one we had in September. And these were the companies that were represented there. We had Construction Kaiser, Cardworks, Nigerian Bottling Company, Chevron Nigeria, Delta Africa, Guinness Nigeria, and Tranos. They are the mentor partners that we use that came to speak to our young engineers. And of course, the way we do it is that we make the engineers choose what is the field, what is your field that you have interest in. And then we try and match them in that breakout session with a company in that field. So they'll be speaking to someone and be asking questions. And we've had great feedback about this turn and gown, how their eyes have been opened, how they are now understand much better how these things work. And the last turn and gown to Tranos. In the pipeline, we have this present in the Invent It, Build It. I was saying we give engineering scholarships. We have a total of 81 scholarships that we gave. But recently, when we went to present checks in Maiduguri, Northeast Nigeria, one of the top people there, a woman, she's not an engineer, but she was very impressed. And she said she wanted to sponsor 300 engineering scholarships for girls in the Northeast. So we are having talks with her already to do that. It's a fallout of the Invent It, Build It, and it is already sponsored. Also, we are going to have the Mint Scholarship for Girls in STEM. It's also an Invent It, Build It event. And this one is a proposal. The Mint actually wants us to write a proposal. They want to do some work with APWEN. We're also going to have the Engineering Field Day. This one is also a proposal, as in institutions wanting to partner with APWEN to do this. And this is about also encouraging girls to study engineering at the universities of higher learning. In our universities. The engineering field, the engineering department, they will come out with the inventions and the innovations that they have done over the years, and they will exhibit it during this engineering field day. We're going to invite secondary school students to come and have a look at this, and we believe that a few of them, some of them will be inspired to study engineering when they come for this event. The last one there is what we call the Tools and Tiara. This also is supposed to be a support for female participation in male stereotypes traits. And here we will be going into craftsmanship. Those are male stereotype traits, agriculture, and real estate. In the craftsmanship, we want to develop female craftsmen. We actually have someone who has proposed this to APWEN. They want to partner with APWEN to develop female craftsmen. Presently, there is a girl mechanic in Ilorin, Kwara State, that we saw her video. And after that, APWEN Ilorin, and she would like to be a mechanical engineer. She learns the trade from her father. She's a mechanic. And so APWEN is taking over her education to sponsor her and mentor her and make sure that she becomes a mechanical engineer. Agriculture is another one we'll be looking at in this Tools and Tiara project, and also real estate. Those are areas that are typically believed to be for men or supposed to be only for men. We want to go into those. So this is what we are. So this is APWEN. We are volunteers, we are partners, leaders, ambassadors, friends, and mentors. We invite you to join us, and it's very easy. You need an engineering degree, You fill out the necessary forms, you pay the fees, and you participate. Thank you for listening.
Wow, thank you very much, engineer. That's really wonderful. I mean, some of these presentations, I tend to lose my coordination. You kept me watching, you kept me listening throughout. It's wonderful. I can't even, stop. I mean, I can't count the number of initiatives that you've put in place here. Invent it, build it, technical boot, career talk, she engineer, girls mentoring, e-learning. I mean, where did you get this energy from? I mean, we've been in the UK, we've been trying to do this for years. We haven't got half of what you're doing here. It's amazing. I'm excited.
Because
really
our women participate. It's easy to say, oh, where do you get this energy from? All those projects that you see, one person is in charge of them and driving it like his own. There is none that the president is the one. Just like you said, how many can one person look at?
Right. You mentioned the video that went viral of this young girl in Ilorin, which is my state of origin, and we were also in NSE London. We were so excited about her. We're all jumping up. Oh, we're gonna raise money. We're gonna do this. And then boom, APWEN went in there. So I spoke to our principal. I said, "Doctor, you're too late. APWEN is already taking over." I said, "Yes, no problem. We know APWEN. We work with them. Fine. But if you have any more of such brilliant young female or boys that want to, input into engineering to become an engineer, please let us know." So, that's just a start. So well done for you guys. You're really, really doing a very wonderful work here. I could see some people are dropping questions online, but if you want to ask a question, please raise up your hand. Those of you that have dropped question, I will call you to say your question, or if you want me to, I will say it myself. But raise up your hand so that we could go through and ask some question based on what is being presented onto us. But engineer, let me start. I've been doing what we call outreach or all these things for many, many years. And the problem we have, or that we find out in the UK that we have, is how to monitor the outcome. Do you guys have any way of monitoring or tracking these kids to see whether after you've impacted their life or inspired them at that age, do they eventually go and become engineer or not? And if you do, how do you do it?
Thank you, Doctor. Sincerely, that is still a challenge for us. We have not been doing that. We have monitored quite a few, but there are so few. But the way they invent it, build it, for example, now has been structured. If you have to give, if you award somebody scholarship from primary to university, you know that you're automatically tracking that person. If you're not tracking that person, the person is tracking you because you need to pay her school fees. So for that one, we will be able to at least determine how many eventually become engineers. And some of these programs we have structured also over the years, because there are some that when they graduate from, that we sponsor through secondary school, but they go to study medicine, pharmacy, they don't eventually study engineering. So I remember that when I was chairing Abuja, we started a program called the Math, Physics, and Math Giants, because we realized that the general STEM can lead you to study medicine, pharmacy, and many other science or STEM. But if you want mathematics, physics, and further mathematics, you are most likely to study engineering. So we started putting our energy in the math, physics, math giant, rather than just STEM. But as for tracking, I just want to say that now is when we are ready through the invented building to be able to track them. Before now, we have not been very good at it.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, that's the same issue we have here. Even here, one should be able to track any child by just putting their date of birth into a database. And with their date of birth and the first name of their name, one should be able to find out what they are up to. But again, with data protections, that's been very, very difficult. So we had to set up our own database ourselves, which we then have to get permission from the school, permission from the parent to be able to put a child on our database so that we could then track their progress. So I think it's something that, we will have to work together here to be able to find an answer. Engineer Tony Ajala, I know you've asked a question. We want to unmute yourself and let us have your question, please. Engineer Ajala, you want to unmute yourself?
Thank you, President Ojelade, for the very, very good presentation. We really thank you very much for all the things you've been doing. One of the initiatives that the Engineering Forum of Nigerians, under the presidency of Dr. Sunday Kukwala, when we visited Nigeria in 2013, is to go to the schools and talk about STEM. And one of the things we recommended is to create STEM clubs in all secondary school so that all those kids that are doing science are in this club, and to make it much easier for many of we engineers like you, like APWEN, to be able to visit the schools and talk to these children that are doing science. It's one of the things I believe that NSE, London, UK, and EFN UK will be able to support you. Whenever we come to Nigeria, we're willing to go around with you and talk about STEM to those clubs. Because this is one of the things they do in UK, as well, to have clubs in many of the schools. That will make it easier for the mentors to be able to concentrate on those kids that are more interested. What do you think of that? Whether it's something APWEN and many other forums in Nigeria in this area could be able to initiate?
Yeah, I think it's something that is possible, the STEM club. I don't know how well it can actually inspire people to be in STEM, because a STEM club means you already want to be there and then you go to join. The approach we presently have, because like I said, someone like me, I wouldn't have been an engineer if I had continued with the Philippine teacher that I had. I just couldn't pick what she was saying. That was really my problem. I couldn't understand her, the Philippine teacher we had at that time. But when they brought a Nigerian teacher who spoke like I spoke, I was able to catch up. But I think STEM clubs are a good way, but we don't just want those who have gone there voluntarily. We want those who don't even know that they could become, but it is inside of them. But because of teaching, because of stereotyping, that's why they did not go there. So those are the ones that, in addition to those who go there voluntarily, we are looking for those who will not ordinarily go there, but who have it in them. We are trying to fish those out.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Mary Akinola, you would like to unmute yourself and ask your question, please?
All right, thank you, sir. Good afternoon, ma, and everybody. Thank you for that wonderful presentation. Please, I'm a teacher in Bishop Smith Memorial College, Ilorin, here in Kwara State. Please, I'd like to ask if STEM is a club, and what are the criteria I need to have, that we need to have one in my school to have STEM club in my school? And the last question is, what qualifies one to be a STEM teacher? Thank you. That's my question.
Okay. Well, it's not that STEM is a club, but I think there is also presently something that looks like a club. We call it JETS, Junior Engineers Technical, something, but it's something like this in the similitude of a STEM club. STEM simply means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Okay. It's not, how do I say it now? It's just like bringing children together who want to, who want to study this. So So it is not something that you need to apply to become or something, or it's not something that is so big that anybody cannot join. Once they have interest in science subjects, they can be a member of the STEM club. And what they do in the STEM club is just to continue to help them to be better in STEM subjects. STEM subjects are the things you need to become an engineer. So that's why they are. That's why we have the STEM clubs, you know, just to be able to teach them better.
I think the other thing.
I don't know if the host can help us to mute everyone so that
Yeah, I've done that. I think the other thing, reason why she was asking that question is also because of some of the things you posted, that you train the trainer as well. And we have that in the UK. I've been sponsored last year by the Royal Academy for Engineering to train people to go into schools and do, STEM practical stuff or workshop and all that. Normally, I bring them into Imperial College to do, but I've trained about 40 people already just before COVID. And just in time for them to start putting their training to practice, then COVID come on board. So there's about 40 engineers, scientists that have already gone through the training and they are ready to go out there and start doing things. So I think that's what she's referring to, whether APWEN will be running a similar training program to initiate people, to help them, to inspire them to say, if you set up a club, these are the things you can do. And we have loads of workshop that is already on our database that you can pick any workshop and run it, like the one with the phone and the one with the oil rig and all this. We'll package them. That if you want to go to a school and run this, we'll give you all the things you need, and we get sponsors to sponsor and buy all the materials you need to be able to run that workshop. I think that's what she was after.
Oh, she was asking about how to become a STEM teacher. Can you repeat your question, ma?
I've muted that. And the reason why I'm saying it is because I've spoken with her before, so that's why I'm trying to narrate a little bit more. Yeah, she's already a STEM teacher, but how do you then get young people to be interested and stay in there, especially girls, and show them practical workshops that they could actually give them the reason why they're studying physics, why they're studying chemistry, where is the application of all these things by running workshop. That's a bit she's interested in.
Okay. Like you are talking about the STEM club, which, like I said, in schools already we have the JETS club, which is the Junior Engineers, Technicians, and Scientists club. So it's pretty much like the STEM club, and it is a place. If you are part of the club, it's a place where you can have such workshops from time to time, because it's not just a social gathering; it's a gathering to learn. So they will have meetings, maybe a monthly meeting or something, or a monthly workshop where such things will be done. And that is the idea, just to keep them focused on STEM so that they will be able to make something out of it.
Yeah, thank you. And the next question, Engineer Elizabeth Iterigo. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. Well done, my president. That was a good presentation. Please, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, okay. Mine is is going to be like a question, not really question, but a collaborative statement, so to say. Based on what we have for the presentation and the question or suggestion that came up from Dr. Sunday, I want to ask if there could be a little collaboration between APWEN and NSE London in terms of materials that we need in teaching our STEM, handling our STEM practicals. I know that there are some simple Legos over there, materials that they are used in primary schools in different stages to teach science. Is there any way NSE London can help to send this material to APWEN to enhance our practical aspects in handling STEM in these schools?
Right. Let me try and undo that. Thank you very much. Yes, we do have that. Over the summer, when the lockdown started, from April to the end of July, we ran workshop online. The previous speaker, Mrs. Mary Akinola, was part of this. Our school was part of it, where we teach kids on STEMs issues, and we get them to do challenges online, and then wherever team wins the challenge, we give them a package which is sponsored by a company that was working with us at the time. Yes, there's a lot of STEM packages out there or practical stuff that kids could do. I'm currently looking for pictures of one at the moment, which I will put on the page when I find it. One is called Curiosity Kits, which full of all things that you can use to do practical stuff that really blow your mind and highlight your mind. Yeah, and then we have coding, coding kits that will allow children to learn how to do coding. So all of those is possible. So it needs funding. So the best
yes, sir. My question is, my point is this, sir. Sir, my point is this, sir. Can you send this material to us in Nigeria to enhance, because we actually visit the schools. We do, like the club you talk about, the STEM club. We need to do practicals. They need to see. So I'm just thinking, if there's a way you could send us these materials as your own contribution from NSE London to APWEN to enhance our practical teaching of STEM to various category of the students, from primary, junior secondary school, you know.
Thank you very much. It's something we will look at. I can't make any promises now, because even we right here, we have to pay for these things. We have to raise money within ourselves to pay for these things. So to send to Nigeria is possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but let's look for a way in which we can raise the fund to be able to do that, because they're not going to be free. I can tell you now. We buy it there and we send it to kids, or I buy it in the summer and I send it to kids. Mrs. Akinola will bear witness to that. So yes, we can do it. There's no question about that. We get fundraising, people to give us money, company to support us, and we can do it. Yeah.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. The next person there is Engineer Moses. Can you please unmute yourself?
Okay, can you hear me? Thank you.
You need to speak up a bit, Engineer Moses.
Wonderful presentation. I'm not asking a question. I just want to make a few comments just to encourage the kind of work you are doing. I've had the privilege to hire Nigerian female engineers in a specialist oil and gas consultancy in Nigeria. And I'm proud to say that they were one of the best engineers I've ever had to work for me. Number two, I was also glad to hear you mention the name of a good friend of mine, Engineer Okai Sabo of Construction Keza. We talk from time to time. I also appreciate the work he does. The last comment I want to make is about how to encourage people to study engineering. Because of my intimate relationship with another lady who was enthusiastic about STEM, Dr. Amao, I was invited to give a talk in the Women in Engineering celebration earlier this year. And I made some points about how we can encourage girls to study engineering. People tend to think that if you don't go to site, you are not an engineer. Going to site is not what makes you an engineer. Engineers develop concepts and explain and let people know how things are done. And then you have technologists, technicians maybe carry out the actual execution. But one of the things I said was that people should stop thinking that engineering is all about going to site. This day, even in manufacturing, most things are computer-aided and software-driven. When we talk about drones and unmanned vehicles and robotics, they are increasingly more computer-based. So maybe what you people can do is to encourage engineers to think that everything about engineering is not about carrying something on your head or going to site. Project management is an aspect of engineering. With COVID now, people are thinking more about working remotely. So I think if we encourage girls to focus on things that are software, computer-driven, I'm sure we can attract a few more girls into the engineering profession. Thank you, Engineer Sunday, for giving me the opportunity.
You're most welcome. Engineer, my president, you would like to make any comment over that? Or?
Not really, but I just want to say thank you for that suggestion. And essentially, that is what we do, because when we go there, we show them ourselves. I don't go to a construction site. I don't climb ladders. So I tell them what I do. It's very easy to show yourself and tell them what you do as an engineer. Of course, we have some of us who go to site, but not everyone. And like you said, the computer-driven parts are a good way to encourage them to go into it. But really, we don't want to, what we're just trying to remove from the mind is that stereotyping that it's a physical thing. While we will continue to encourage that of computer-driven things, we also don't want them to be afraid that if they have to be on the site, then they can still be there. Yeah. It's still part of engineering, because even if the concept came from you, you still need to supervise it. We deal with artisans, we deal with technologists and all that. And if you need to be at the site with them, you don't want to be looked at as, oh, because she's a woman, then she can't come. I won't be the one to carry I won't be the mason, I won't be carrying the blocks. But I just need to see that you are laying the block well. So that still takes me to the site. So we just want them to be well-rounded and well-grounded and understand every aspect of it.
Yeah, as you rightly said, we need to change the image, this perspective of engineering. I'm gonna show you a screen now. This, if you Google engineering, this is what you will see. Yeah, everybody in arts, showing things, holding on to drawings. But we don't want to be saying that as an engineer, as an image for engineer. Okay, maybe some of it. And you could see also all of them are male. Okay, one or two female at the bottom there, but this is what we want to see as engineer image of engineering, if I could find it. Yeah, this is what we want to see. Can you see there? Rolls-Royce engine, aircraft, solar panel, that kind of thing. AI, people monitoring drones, that kind of things we want to be able to see as engineering. And people work in the lab, people work on, building things, even designing a kiddie's trolley for pushing kids around. They work on submarine. Those are the image of engineering that we want to be able to see. So we need to do that. We need to work and change the image that we see of engineering, and we all have to do it together. Otherwise, people will keep seeing us as people with art, and all we do is pick up bricks and all kind of things. Right, I'm going to ask Engineer Funmi Kadri to unmute yourself and ask a question, please. You need to unmute yourself, man. I see.
Thank you so much. I want to wade into the discussion about sending equipment. Now, it won't be just about sending equipment. It will be about collaborating. So every event, now you've done some of this online. I think my vice president was saying that that's what we want to do. So it will be a collaboration. It won't be, okay, hands out. It won't be giving handouts to APWEN. It will be about collaborating. So what you're doing online, APWEN can do in collaboration with you physically. If we can look at it like that, then you will be achieving your purpose, and APWEN will also be achieving its purpose, and we'll all have something to gain from it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will share some more information on that, and I'm well connected to the president, and we'll try and work something out. Yes, it is important that we work together on this. Right. The next person I'm going to call will be Engineer Bosede Oyekunle. She's been very, very active with this program. She helped us to publicize this event quite a few times. And I was chatting with her last night that I shouldn't say it anymore last night. She sent it first thing this morning, and she did. Before I wake up, she's already sent it. So please unmute yourself, Engineer Bosede Oyekunle, and ask your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to observe established protocol. Thank you very much, Dr. Popoola, for that acknowledgement. I'd also like to commend our president for a very beautiful delivery. Mine is just a suggestion which Engineer Funmilola Ojelade, FNSE, just talked about now, is for us to look at a collaborative effort. Our goal, I say, to increase STEM capability, to bridge STEM gap, most especially for women. So I want us to look at the collaborative perspective. I strongly believe that with the approval of my president, we would have a contact email address sent out for people to come up with collaborative efforts. You may have the idea while someone else has the funding and someone else has the capability to facilitate it. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you very much for that. I'm not sure if there's any question there. Yes, but yes, you're right. We will continue to create ways of collaborating to make sure we get things done and get things set up so that we could all work together as one. Right, and the next person I want to unmute is Engineer Gabriel. Can you please unmute and ask your question?
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Gabriel Ige, civil engineer based in London. I just wanted to, well, I've got a couple of comments I want to make, but also thank the presenter, Engineer Ojelade, I hope I pronounced it properly, for a very good presentation. Lots of achievements. You, lady engineers, seem to be miles ahead of us, the men. But I just wanted to buttress what we're talking about, what the previous person was talking about, practical experience. I mean, most of my experience is sort of site-based project management. And what I find is that both are very important, design as well as understanding the practical side of things. Because I find some of the young engineers, for example, that do designs for us from the design consultancies, many times because of their lack of site experience, they don't understand, they're designing things that don't work, you know, and that costs a lot of money. So if you're, I think it should be mandatory that if you're working for a design consultant, that you visit sites regularly. You can talk to the men on site, talk to the engineers, then you're developing your, but if you design in isolation, you just find that you're going to cost the client a lot of money, and you're not going to develop as a well-rounded engineer, as Engineer Funlola said. So I think that's what I want to add. The other point about encouraging, well, you're talking about information for helping to train the young ones in Nigeria. Yeah, I think that's a very important that we collaborate with you guys. And with regarding funding, we could probably apply for funding from international bodies or companies that give grants. But we have sort of different type of experience from you guys in Nigeria. So I'm sure if we collaborate, you can tell us exactly what you're looking for. We can make suggestions. And what the amount of money we have, even if it's £100, £200, we start somewhere. In a year or two, you will get somewhere. So well done. Thank you very much. Back to you,
Thank
Dr.
you, Engineer Gabriel. Thank you very much. Yes, Engineer Gabriel is one of our very active supporter of STEM workshop that we run in the UK, in Nigeria. We've done in Nigeria, we've done in Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago. He's the first person to jump on board and say, yes, let's go for it. So if we want to collaborate with APWEN, yes, he is a very active person and I'm sure it will support not just him, quite a few people like him in our group, and they'll be very glad to support and make sure this thing works. I've posted quite a few link on the sharing page for the Twin Science. This is a company that we collaborated with throughout the summer. We run workshop online. About over 5,000 students were able to gain things from us through that time. And there's a YouTube link which I'm going to put
on the chat box.
That's the YouTube link which I will put in there as well, which shows that some of the recording of the thing we did, and that's week 12. But if you're able to get to week 12, you should be able to see the other week as well. Engineer. Say that again.
We can't copy it from the screen, but if you put it in the chat box.
I'll put it into the chat box. It's in there already. Yeah, Engineer Abu Salami, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? Engineer Abu Salami, you want to ask your question?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Fine. I'm Engineer Abu Salami, talking from Ilorin. Engineer Popola, I'm very proud of you. Engineer Ojelade and all APWEN presidents there, I'm very proud of you. Honestly, I must confess that this is the first day I am knowing much about APWEN. And I know most of them will be surprised at what I'm saying, but the truth is that, yes, I relate to them, but I didn't know more about them. But what I want to appeal, sir, Engineer Sunday Popola, I want you to take APWEN like your own party and baby and run with it. I'm very sure you are exposed to so many things in the climb you are that you can do or even assist them with that can project beyond where they are. And that is my appeal to you. Forget about whatever support you're asking for today. When you get back home today, sit down, think of what you can do to carry APWEN on your back as your baby from today. Thank you very much. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much. All the members of APWEN are my sisters and my mothers. So for me to put them on my back, it's going to be quite a lot of work for me. We could work together, we could collaborate. We have at least 15 to 20 workshops that we have in our program that we will share with APWEN. And then we have to train people who are going to be going out and giving this workshop. And all the workshops about critical thinking, they're about creativity, they're about collaboration, they're about teamwork. I call it the 4 C's. It's part of the 21st century skill that children have to acquire. And those are the things you don't really get by going to a classroom and learn about physics or maths. How do you use all of these subjects to do something in real life? Or how those things around you, involve the subject? Forces, light, all kinds of things you see around you. How do you relate that to physics, chemistry, to biology, to all the things that you study? And that's what this workshop does. So we have all our planned workshop that we can share with APWEN, and we can train people online on how to run this workshop. That's the start. And in the back of that, we start looking for funding to actually get some of these kits sent down to Nigeria. Some of the things we use in the workshop, we can get them in Nigeria. So you don't need to send them from here. That's a waste of money. Some of the simple things that we use, we can acquire them, we can buy them in Nigeria. So sometimes what we do, we just take our little currency, change it for plenty of Nigeria and Naira, and we'll buy the things on the ground. So there's quite a lot of possibilities. So thank you very much for that.
Engineer Sunday, sir, if I can just chip in there, just one statement there. Yeah, just to back up what Engineer Popola just said, we've been hampered by COVID-19 in activities this year, and we want to more or less gain ground as long as the opportunity gives us at NSE London branch. So it's one of the things that we have on our program, that once the airports are opened, once the availability is there for us, these are the ways that we want to more or less collaborate with other arms of engineering in Nigeria. And I am not able to share this with us now, but it's part of our program coming forward that we want to put in place. So I will just advise all of us to watch this space. There's more to come from us in the next couple of months. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Engineer Aisha Mukhtar, you want to ask your question? I see you've muted yourself. Obviously, you didn't want to ask any question. You suddenly disappeared. Anybody else in there that want to ask question before we move this program forward? Engineer Funmilola or Funlola, is there anything else you want to say before I move to the next slide?
Well, nothing other than I want to recognize the presence of another founding member, Engineer Funlola Ojelade. She's the one that spoke a while ago. She's one of those 6 women that founded APWEN 38 years ago. And also I have the chairman of NSE, chairman of APWEN Katsina Chapter, Engineer Aisha Mukhtar, and the chairman of APWEN Elisha Chapter, Engineer Dr. Esther Olatujo.
Thank you very much. One thing I really appreciate this year is that we've been getting quite a lot of women engineers becoming chairman. They like me to use the word chairman. Becoming chairman of NSE branches. I'm very, very encouraged about that. And I think we need to keep that going. You know, stop all those guys becoming dominant in all these branches. You know, women knows how to manage people better than men. So well done, guys. So keep it going. We're right there behind you. We're going to continue to support you. So let's move on swiftly. Just to give you some announcement of what we're going to be doing, collaboration with other people in the UK and also in Nigeria. Next week, 24th of October, we have a webinar by the NSE Glasgow branch, the 3rd webinar, and they're going to be talking about high voltage direct current and supporting energy, internet, and energy integration by Professor Xiang Ping Chang from University of Birmingham. That's on the 24th at 2 p.m. Follow that. Myself, I'm going to be working, or should I say NSE London. We're going to be collaborating with NSE Buhari, yes, branch in Abuja on the topic of modular construction, which is my expertise area, modular construction on residential and high-rise building using modern method of construction. I will show you what this is if you come to the webinar on the 31st. It's interesting. We've used it quite a lot in Europe, in UK, in China. I'm using it extensively. Japan, the master of modern method of constructions, and I will be showing you cases, building that I've worked on where we've actually used it. So that's on the 31st, which is the last day of this month. And then we have, then on the 12th of July, the same group in Buhari, they're having their AGM. So they've invited me to come and talk about Nigeria housing crisis and infrastructure deficiency. I'm sure you've all seen the SARS demonstration going on. I guarantee if I give this presentation to the president, that SARS problem will be solved because it contains all the things that Nigeria needs in terms of housing and infrastructure, that we really need to put our money into it and stop paying all the, I don't want to become political, stop paying all the senator big amount of money. Let's put money into developing our infrastructure. And follow on from there, on the 14th of November, we have my brother, Albert Williamson Taylor. He's an engineer, he's an architect, not an engineer, he's an architect. And he's one of the directors in the company called AKT2 Consultant. And he's going to be talking to us about some of his work. We haven't narrowed down his subject yet, but it's going to be on technical work or project management, something that, and this is just to show some of the amazing, Nigerian or Black engineers who are doing amazing things in this country. Gatwick Airport is led by a company that is run by a Nigerian engineer, and so many of the one I've showed you in the video earlier, we have some beautiful people that are doing some amazing work. So that's 14th of November, the same time, the same place. On the 28th of November, I have a colleague of mine, Dr. Larry Jones. He's going to be talking about infusing knowledge management in higher education and using Nigeria as a case study. Again, this is a good webinar to attend. And by then, we will have had at least 10 webinars this year. So although we're complaining COVID has caused a lot of problems, COVID has actually helped us tremendously, because there's no way we will have had 10 physical meetings this year. We don't have the capability for that, because we have to, hire space and all kinds of things. But now that we're online, the sky is the limit. So I'm going to ask Engineer Chio Odunlami to please give us a closing remarks on the amazing presentation that we've had today.
Thank you very much, Engineer Popola, for that. Wow, what an insight! What an insight we've been able to get from our able APWEN chairman or chairlady, Engineer Ojelade. It's quite ironic that in this time and age, whereby we have wonderful project managers. I mean, like in UK, we all know that women are taking the forefront in project management, because when you talk about management, women are key. We know exactly what strengths they have in that area. And I believe that definitely within the next couple of years, we begin to see the affluence of women engineers coming up from abroad, both abroad and even in Nigeria. And we have opened the doors now, definitely through STEM, and we believe that this is not going to be the end of collaboration. So, Engineer Ojelade, we are going to be keeping in touch with you in collaboration. Let us know where we can support your work, and let us know exactly how we can come in to add some class to what you are doing in Nigeria. And also, we want to use this opportunity to call on anyone that is quite passionate about infrastructural and technological development in Nigeria. If you are in the engineering field, or you know people that are more or less doing great in the engineering field, it's a platform whereby we can rub minds together, whereby we can collaborate to make it's not about us, it's about giving what we have back to the country Nigeria in terms of experience and development. And I want to thank everyone for making up this webinar today. Engineer Popola has also given us a snapshot of what to expect for the next couple of Saturdays. It's going to be a busy week ahead, and a month ahead as well in terms of webinars. And then please, when you come in, I mean, don't come alone, don't come on board alone onto this platform. Get someone involved, let them know about what we are doing. It's all for the development of the motherland. And I believe that when next we come together, we have better news to share together. Thank you very much for coming. Our able ministers in charge, maybe they're not here or over there, the chairman of all the NSE branches, and even the chairman of other associations in London and in Nigeria who are on the platform. Apologies, I cannot even recognize. Thank you for coming. Especially Engineer Ojelade, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time. So
if you want to become a member of our group, we got our WhatsApp number there, plus 44795-735-7079. But we're going to charge you. All this knowledge is not free. So if you want to become a member, you have to be ready to contribute so that we can help the work of APWEN and many other work that we're doing here and in Nigeria. Or you can email us also at nsclondonuk@gmail.com. But I said to you earlier, today we have so many celebrations to make. And I will be so glad to tell you that our presenter, Engineer Funlola Ojelade, this week was she's very surprised, you see, she didn't know this was coming. This week was her birthday. And as a result of it, I'm going to unmute all of you before I play this music, if it plays. I'm going to unmute all of you to say happy birthday to our speaker, and then I'll play this beautiful this beautiful video that I have here, which I can't get to work yet. But anyway, I'm going to mute everybody so that we can, all say happy birthday to Engineer Ojelade. Can somebody help me? Chio, can you help me unmute everybody? Oh, I mute all.
Yeah, you've done that.
My name is Ojelade. You didn't know the meaning of that.
And say happy birthday to Engineer Ojelade.
Happy birthday, ma.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, ma. Happy birthday to Engineer Ojelade, our digital president.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to our able
Engineer,
president, APWEN Kaduna chapter.
Happy
birthday, Engineer. Congratulations.
Happy birthday, Engineer Ojelade from California.
I hope Engineer Popola will be buying birthday cake for those in UK.
Happy birthday, Engineer Ojelade. All the best in the new age.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Engineer Ojelade. God bless you, ma. Thank you for being a good mentor.
Thank you.
You guys should get up and dance, so.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wow.
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Who say I can't dance? You should all get up and dance. Let's see your video. Let's dance to this wonderful day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wow, wow.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's my exercise for today. We thank everybody for coming, and we hope to see you again very soon next week. So thank you all.
Dr. Popola, are you buying cake for those in the UK?
We've already eaten the cake. Where were you this morning?
Dr. P, I'm here to see the cake. Oh.
Thank you, Coyote.
Announcement regarding the cake. Just wait for just eat. It's on the way.
Don't worry, we're gonna catch
Dr. Popola sent you a factual cake.
There's a button that says just eat.
You'd be a sinner if you don't know, if you have not received the cake.
Who is this? Who is this Funke Adelakun?
Adelekun.
Is it Adelekun?
Well, she's here in the background, just enjoying everyone's presentation. It's good.
How are you, Funke?
Click, just
I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay, thank you. And I'm wishing Engineer Funmilola a happy birthday today. I've just messaged in the chat. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Is it Adelekun or Adelakun?
Adelekun. Adelekun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I am Adelakun, that's why I'm asking.
I think you've asked me that question. I think I met you at TFL years ago when you asked me the same question.
Engineer Hakim is one of our TFS colleague.
Yeah, I remember. Okay. He asked me the same question like 5 years ago, and he probably would ask in another 5 years to come.
Well, you are right about that one.
Don't worry, it's old age.
It's old age, yes. It's nice to see everyone. I'm hiding face for personal reasons. Yeah, thank you. Right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a great
day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay.